Hello and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Hungarian Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered as we rate them out of 10 for their weekend. Total random order, let's go with Roman Grosjean. Had the potential of points. Him and his teammate put dries on. But he was a rear gunner for his teammate really. Grosjean just kept going backwards. K-Mag did a better job. Grosjean kind of played the team game, so 4 for Grosjean. Kevin Magnussen, 8. Gamble paid off to go to dries. He was running third. My driver of the day did a great job, but he got both Hasses got a penalty for doing something they shouldn't have done. You're not allowed driver aids, and they were doing something they shouldn't under the formation lap, so he got a 10-second penalty, which drops him to P10. Finished P9 on the road, but drops to P10. Carlos Sainz, 5 out of 10. Average weekend. He gets promoted to P9 with Kevin Magnussen's penalty. 2 points. P9 in quali, P9 in the race. But it was an average weekend. McLaren have been very strong, but not this weekend. Lando Norris, 4. Very good qualifying, P8, but the race was very poor. He got like the worst start ever, dropped to P18. A very tough weekend for McLaren. Giovinazzi and Raikkonen, 1. Very slow, arguably the slowest on the grid. They need to improve big time. I mean, they were last in qualifying, both of them. It was poor. Gasly, 5 out of 10. Terrible reliability all weekend. Problem with his power unit, problem with power. Car blows up in the race, gearbox issues. Great qualifying, P10. And he just had so many problems. I feel really harsh. I mean, he didn't really get to race this weekend. So standard 5. Kvyat, 4 out of 10. Had the potential of points. He was screaming on the radio to go to dries, like the Haas boys did, but he didn't do it. And he should have done it, because that was the best strategy to do. He wanted to do it, but he stayed out and took the start as normal. Daniel Ricciardo, 7 out of 10. Good points. P11 in quali, P8 in the race, and very good points for Daniel Ricciardo. Ocon, 3. Very disappointing weekend. Beaten by Ricciardo all weekend. Very quiet race. Hardly saw him on the TV. Lando Norris passed him late on. Lance Stroll, 10 out of 10. P3 in quali. Beat Perez all weekend. He has many haters. P4 in the race. No mistakes. He gets a lot of hate, but he's battered Perez. I mean, that's what he's got to do. And he beat Perez fair and square. Lance Stroll had one of his best weekends in a very long time. Perez, 6 out of 10. Beaten by Stroll all weekend. P7 in the race. Not a great weekend for Sergio Perez. The points are there, and he didn't pick up enough, in my opinion. Valtteri Bottas, 7. P2 in qualifying. He kind of jumped the start, stopped, went into anti-stall, set off, lost a ton of positions at the start. Tough race for Valtteri Bottas, loses the championship lead to Hamilton. He went on fresh tyres to try and catch Max, didn't get him in time. Like, another lap, maybe he would have got him. Hamilton, 10 out of 10. Pole position, his 90th of his career. Fastest lap, dominates from start to finish. 8th win at Hungary, championship leader in a class of 1, the 6-time champion. Sebastian Vettel, 8. Solid weekend, beat Leclerc, no mistakes. A much needed good weekend for Vettel. He's been under so much pressure, and he needed a weekend like that, and I'm very happy for him. Leclerc, 4. Struggled, beat by Seb all weekend, qualified P6. The race, he struggled massively on all tyres. Like, every tyre he went on, he was struggling. It was odd. Albon, 6. Horror qualifying. Great fight back in the race to get P5. He escaped a penalty. Before the race, they were like using blowers to dry out his grid spot to get him a better start, and Red Bull have got away with it. Yeah, it was a tough weekend for Albon, but great fight back in the race. Max 7. Now I've marked him down because angry all weekend. He had a bad qualifying, P7, was on pole, and then on pole in 2019, P7 2020. Crashed a car before we even started the race. His mechanics did an unbelievable job to get him in, even in the race. And then Max did an excellent race to finish P2. But you got to mark him down. Bad qualifying, crashed a car before we even started. Russell 5. Amazing qualifying, P12. Race was very bad and he had a bad start. Latifi 5. He got out of Q1. Williams both got out of Q1 for the first time since Monza 2018. His best qualifying, very tough race. 3 laps down. He spun coming out the pit lane. Unsafe release, got a 5-second penalty. Williams released him into Carlos Sainz. Sainz hit him, he got a puncture, spun. Lost it at turn 5 as well. It was a tough weekend. There we have it, all 20 drivers covered for the Hungarian Grand Prix. I think I'll be bringing a video out about racism, including like Formula 1 and racism. We need to talk about that because it's not good enough, Formula 1. And yeah, we've got a week off now, then we've got back-to-back Silverstones. It's been a great start to the season. 3 races down. Mercedes basically started where they left off. They've won all 3 races. They've won the constructors. They've won the drivers. We go on to Silverstone in 10 days. I can't wait. It's going to be very strange at Silverstone with no fans. One of the best circuits. One of the best atmospheres. But we're going to have no fans at the British Grand Prix. But it's an absolute corker of a circuit. So there we have it. Qualifying reaction, race reaction, driver ratings done for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We go on to Silverstone in 10 days' time. Join me for the same. Adios. Hamilton dominates all weekend. Max P2, Valtteri Bottas P3. Comment down below, we'll always reply. That is the driver ratings done for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Adios.